Next up we have Iffy taking on, what did this person say he was?
Mm.
I'll figure out his name in a minute.
Okay.
As soon as he declares heads or tails. Oh,
Luffy.
Luffy. Luffyfan. A fan of the Luffy.
And on the other side, it almost dies. Mysteriously. Until it's...
And Iffy is using Kagero.
Why is that surprising?
He was using a different clan up to now. It seems like Luffyfan needs a double mulligan. He didn't know it was possible for him to do that. And he says that the hand he got from doing the second mulligan was even worse. He's able to ride an AK to start, though. He gets a draw trigger. And we get to see that Iffy is running Dragonic Blade Master. Iffy was supposed to drive check that. I think he drew it. No, he
Hey,
got Gatling Claw.
hey, Maya.
Draw trigger for a draw trigger.
My kitty wants attention, hon. Mr. Blackie needs attention from Mama.
And so I've noticed. That's a Blaster Dark.
This is a shadow then. Oh no, this is MLB.
Yes, yes it is.
Hey, babies.
Which means there's a very high chance that Luffyfan fights with religion on his side.
Oh,
And that is Blazing Core Dragon, I just realized that. Is this a Blazing Flare Blade Master deck? Not a bad idea.
where is it? No!
Do I want to know?
I lost one of my demon cheese.
Your what?
I lost one of my demon cheese I liked.
Junshi's? What?
Japanese manga.
Oh, Dalshijins, you mean.
Yeah, that's how you say it?
Yes.
Yeah.
29k to a 9k.
I
Ooh. That was a critical.
And
That just hit for 3 critical. So now Iffy uses Stride.
I found the page I came from.
That's good.
Where's...
There's a Sojakama roll. Depending on what he gets for that, okay, he gets a perfect R for it. Not a bad idea.
And
So 31k at the Vanguard. Vanguard is at 12, so two 10ks will one pass. No guards. Iffy criticals. And heals.
I see the end. Or
That
was that?
was Blazing Flare Dragon.
I saw the. I thought I saw. No, that looked like a draconic overlord card.
Look at it. It's in the damage. It's Blazing Flare Dragon.
Why does it look like draconic overlord?
Because Dragonic Overlord decided, you're not relevant enough, I'm gonna take your shit and become the end.
I have that.
Luffyfan calls Lake Maiden Leanne. And if he doesn't want to call rear guards, then if he's not gonna have a lot of trouble guarding this, call Starlight Violinist to rear guard. And use its skill to call Blaster Blade. Might be going for the skill again for an extra 10k boost. $19 at the Vanguard. It's no pass. And there's a critical trigger. If he had decided to no guard, it would have ended the match. It's better that he didn't. Put the trigger on the Starlight Violinist, so 17k and 2 critical. Iffy reconfirming that it has a critical. So now we see right into Root Flare Dragon. And for Counterblast 1, Blaster Blade dies. Blazing Flare at the rear guard just in time for Root Flare to activate and kill 2 units. Which means Blazing Flare gains 6k. $31k at the Vanguard gets perfect guarded this time. That was only actually meant to be 16k. It doesn't gain 5k per retire, it gains 3k. So now what is Luffy going to do here? He doesn't really seem to have the ability to stride, otherwise we probably would have seen that by now. Or maybe he's trying to weigh if it's worth it considering he has such a low field. If he's been doing a good job of keeping control so far, especially because he still has a perfect guard in hand. Decides to call a grade 1 to rear. It'll gain 3k when it attacks because Vanguard is a blaster. And it's going for the rear. 19 at the Vanguard is perfect guarded. Heal trigger doesn't work.
What time?
I'm commentating the match, dear.
Sorry, I was had when Mimi needed me.
It's alright.
The one from yesterday I told you about.
I know, but keep in mind this is going on YouTube. You probably don't want to say the exact details.
I'm not that stupid.
I never said you were.
You sound like I was.
I would never. 31k at the Vanguard.
I love you, hon.
Love you too,
Okay,
sweetie.
so what I miss?
Iffy's been doing a good job keeping control of the match.
Ooh, that's good. That's good.
That's a
good.
one
That's
pass.
good. That is real good.
That is a one pass. Keep in mind, no matter what happens, a unit is going to be retired. I think he might be choosing to no guard. He chooses to no guard. If a critical appears, it's over. And it does not.
But she gets retired.
She gets retired, and that unit gains power. Did he
That must be like
counterblast for that?
Excalibur. That must be like Excalibur she's holding.
Well, she's the Lady of the Lake.
True.
Did Iffy counterblast for that skill?
I think so.
Say in the ask in the chat if he counterblasted. Just say, did Iffy counterblast for Twilight Arrow?
If she's watching this. Oh, he didn't use Twilight.
How did he retire the...
Muhammad.
That's only if it hits.
It hit it. He
Oh yeah, it did hit. That's right, it did hit. Never mind. Okay. I remembered seeing the guard and thought that he guarded it.
No. Why haven't he allegiance yet to the religious?
Probably because he doesn't have enough hand in order to actually make it worthwhile. Considering Religious Soul Saver's ability is when it hits the field, you counterblast 1, flip up a copy of itself. It gives 5k to 3 units. Then, if you have 2 blasters in your soul, it gains a crit. Since he hasn't had units on the field, before main phase, he can't really do anything about that. Or more say, he
Ah,
can't do anything with that.
okay.
It could also be that he just doesn't have things in hand he's willing to discard for the sake of stride, one or the other. Neither one would really be good for him right now, and he is saying his hand is pretty bad. It looks like he's ready to attack for 16k.
He might. Let's.
Definitely gives... It's definitely giving, Iffy the chance to guard. He 2 passes.
Great. There's a great one. Yeah.
That heal did work.
Oh, this little. I just noticed that Strider looks so cute.
Stride into Muhammad, and the last unit dies.
Novelle. Oh, Moon Master.
Yes, he's using Blade Master. So now, Luffy is probably deciding if he wants to guard this or not. Last turn he risked letting the Vanguard hit and the critical didn't appear. Is he really prepared to roll the dice again? His opponent does run criticals. And looking at this, I haven't seen many triggers out of his deck at all. Two heals, 2 crits, a draw. And that's it. There should be a lot of triggers left in that deck, actually. But even with that said, he might not have a lot of cards in hand to guard with, considering what he'd have to do to block a stride. He'd have to drop at least 3 cards from hand if he doesn't perfect guard. At least 3. And he drops 3, that's a 2 pass.
He can do this.
If he actually can do this, because he
Elaine
should
looks
have
so pretty. I'm not sure if it's pretty a leak or Elaine.
If he should have a lot of triggers left in deck, if I'm counting right. Blazing Flare. Critical. Where is he going to give this? Where this trigger goes could decide everything.
Give it to the Vanguard.
Gives it to the rear. And doesn't get it. Giving it to the rear was a good choice. $25k. And that does have 2 critical. He has guard. This match is really winding down, coming to the final cards. Luffy's holding on despite not having much on his end. If he attacks with only the Vanguard, he knows it's going to be blocked. He understands that. It's called Starlight Violinist. Is he going to use the skill to call another unit, though? No, he doesn't. He just calls something behind the Vanguard. If he did get a critical trigger and it's going straight to guard, he uses another trigger to make it a no pass. Blaster Dark, and as soon as we see the second check, it's a critical trigger, which means Starlight Violinist can hit, but at the same time, it only takes 5k to block it, which he uses immediately. If I was Iffy, what I would do...
He could have blocked. Why is it not making a hit? He could have hit if he didn't guard.
That's why I said he could. He can hit. I said he can hit.
Oh, I thought you said he couldn't hit.
Yeah.
He can't. He couldn't.
I said he can hit. That's what I said. He can hit.
He can't.
Yes.
Alright, I thought you said he couldn't. He can't.
Luffy no guards, and there's a draw and a crit. And that's the end of the match. If he wins this one, good games. Really close match, but as soon as Iffy got his engine started, he really wasn't able to be touched anymore. He couldn't really get any heal triggers beyond that, but he didn't need them. On to the next game.